मेरे आत्मीय भाइयों बहनों, इतना अच्छा लग रहा है आप ये वेबिनार कर रहे हैं और ये भी बहुत अच्छा टॉपिक है कि वेलनेस को हमारे देश में बढ़ाना है and this is the right forum for organizing this webinar. So you must be clear what is that wellness that we talk about. What is the definition of health according to World Health Organization? WHO tells us that health is not merely absence of a disease. It is a state of well-being at the physical, mental, social and in spiritual levels. It's a very holistic concept. Same has been also talked about in Ayurveda and Yoga. And Ayurveda Vaidyas, the experts from Bihar in the BHU, Banaras Hindu University and others have been professing this wonderful dimension of wellness. And according to yoga, it is a state of balance. Samatvam yoga uchyate, as it is said. So the wellness will turn itself into illness. We becomes I. When we identify ourselves with individuality and forget about our wholeness, then you have the problem. According to Upanishads, which form the basis of all the yoga practices and understanding, we are not just a physical body. We have 4 more bodies or layers. We call it as koshas, panchakoshas. Professed in Taittiriya Upanishad and many other Upanishads, we say that we have the physical body known as the Annamaya kosha, then we have the Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnana, Anandamaya koshas. Anandamaya kosha is the causal state from where all other layers have emerged. It is called the Karana Sharira. Karana Sharira, Sukha Sharira and Sthula Sharira in Vedantic terminology. And in Anandamaya kosha, which is our causal state, we are in a state of wonderful bliss. It's a state of Ananda, the Supreme. That state is a state where the mind has not come into its dual phase. It is in a phase of avyakta, silence in a sense, shanti in a sense. And from there emerges the first offshoot called the Vijnanamaya kosha, in which the mind has come into dual phase, the thoughts have arisen and we start thinking. Thinking process has started. Multiple thoughts. But the knowledge at that stage is infinite. We have all the knowledge of the past, present and the future. Such people who raise them to this level of Vijnanamaya kosha, they are called the Trikala Jnanis. Krishna Bhagavan was such. Shankaracharya was others. And Guru Nanak Ji was such a great personality. And our country excelled with such personalities, every state. We have Sant Grandev from Maharashtra, we have Swaminarayan from Gujarat, we have Shankaracharya from Kerala, and we had large number of Siddhas from Tamil Nadu, and we had Raghavendra Mahaswamigal and others from Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh were full of such great masters of Hatha Yoga. And if you go to the eastern side, we have the northeast side, and in this we have such great personalities, Lahiri Mahashaya, Yukteswaragiri and others. And such are the great country in which we live. They knew what is going to happen in future, what has happened in the past, what is now happening. And these people have all the control and mastery over themselves. They can do and undo things. They got all the powers. if not as the epic characters like Sri Krishna Bhagavan or Sri Rama or Hanuman. There are such great personalities who were there, who came again and again in our country. And I was amazed to know how Guru Nanak was able to transform and build the entire Punjab and the surroundings with such vigor, vitality and best of the spirituality. So it is a state of perfect health, it is a state of perfect well-being and total well-being. From there you come down further to constrict ourselves, individualize more ourselves, and the Manomaya Kosha starts coming up. And slowly the knowledge gets distorted. The right knowledge gets distorted. In yoga, we have 5 modifications of the mind. Pramana, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smritayaha are the 5 modifications of the mind. Pramana is the right knowledge. That is there in the Vijnanamaya Kosha in its fullest blossom. But when you come down to the next wrong knowledge starts setting in. That's called Viparya. Viparya is to recognize things wrongly. A person who gets jaundice, he thinks the whole world has become yellow. Seeing a ghost in a post, seeing a serpent in a rope, they're all examples of Viparya. And then when it percolates down to physical frame, it causes the disasters. For example, now our immune system is sufficient to deal with any type of infectious and contagious diseases and viral diseases. When the viruses come from outside, for example the corona now, in the present context, when you look at the corona, which is the biggest of the viruses that we have seen, its volume is 0.025 microns. But our immune system is very well equipped. Our white blood cells, which is the army, has got cells which are 50 to 100 times bigger than this. Look at the numbers. The number of the coronavirus that can enter in could be in thousands or a million. But our WBCs are in billions. So we are a very, very strong army. Apart from that, we also have the border security force. When the corona by chance enters through the nose and comes in, we have got natural killer cells. So we are all very well equipped with a very strong army, the immune system. And this can all happen if our entire immune system is kept intact, healthy, strong, and recognize who is the enemy, who is the friend. But Viparya at that Manomaya Kosha, if it percolates down to this level, and the immune system gets into this Viparya, thinking that, look at this corona, I jokingly say, it is the most beautiful thing, the virus that has come with such a spherical shape and beautiful spikes from that, embellishing itself with all the ornaments. Come on in, you are so beautiful, please come in. Thinking that is a great friend, if it invites, then you have the problem. This is Viparya in manifestation. Therefore, the Viparya is the first that comes into the Manomaya Kosha in the form of an Ajnana, a wrong knowledge, and that now starts bringing big imbalances at the mind level. In the mind level, we have 2 dimensions. One is, the mind is very sharp, very intelligent, faster mind, quicker mind, brilliant mind, innovative mind, creative mind, faster. Another is calming down the mind, silencing the mind, tranquilizing the mind, peaceful mind, silent mind, deep, blissful silence. These are the 2 dimensions of the mind. And it's in a good balance, it's in a beautiful balance in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. But when this Ajnana comes, then the second one goes away, only the first start developing more and more. This is what has happened in our present education system. We have developed our mind to brilliant concentration, innovation, creativity, faster mind, faster. The second dimension of calming down the mind, silencing the mind, tranquilizing the mind has been neglected. We get a lot of foreign students and others, brilliant teenagers. When they come, I marvel at them. They're so brilliant, so nice. Very small things happen in the technology, immediately they will go and correct in no time. But ask them to sit quiet, calm, silent. That's the biggest punishment you give for them. Why? Not their mistake, it's our mistake in our education system. In our earlier Gurukula system, we had this dimension well understood and well implemented. All students were made to sit in meditation continuously every day, calming down the mind, silencing the mind, tranquilizing the mind, going into deeper silence and reach the causal state of Ananda. Maintain that Ananda in action. All that we were doing. But this has been changed. In the mass education system promoted by the British, we completely changed and developed only the first. Not only in India, but all over the world. The English educationists spread these things. So it is here that a big imbalance has set in. We are gigantic on one front, another side we are almost like a pygmies. That is the big imbalance that starts in the Manomaya Kosha at the mind level. And this is called as the Adi. That is the stress at that level. The wellness is sort of destroyed in a sense. And the stresses start coming down. And it starts becoming faster and faster. And develops very strong, violent emotions within us. In the earlier things, we have a wonderful balance of all the emotions. What is called the Daivi Sampat is predominant and the Asuri Sampat is this lower up. But here, because of the distortion, because of the imbalance, the violent emotions start taking over. And this is that thing happens as the Asuri Sampat increasing. What are these? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, infatuation, arrogance. इसको षड्रिपु बोलते हैं. The 6 enemies of man is that. They are violent emotions. And this is due to the excessive, uncontrolled speed of the mind and the big imbalance. And these are very powerful emotions. What is the result of that? Slowly your actions start getting governed by this emotion rather than what is right and what is wrong. For example, the immune system thinking that the corona is a wonderful thing, having that wrong knowledge and promoting it. A diabetic patient knows that he should not eat his fond sweets, goes and start eating a lot of his gulab jamun or rasgulla and then whatnot. This is in Ayurveda called the prajnaparadha. You have done something wrong, something against what is right, something against what can maintain our wellness and balance. Now that imbalance, that emotional upsurges of the violent emotions will percolate down to the pranamaya kosha, which is grossifying of our personality further. And big imbalances start taking place in our pranamaya kosha. In pranamaya kosha we have the 5 panchapranas: prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana. These are the 5 panchapranas which govern all our physiological functions in our physical body, annamaya kosha. So imbalances are set here. They go haywire. They go in the wrong direction, they get speeded up, and where slowness is needed, it gets speeded up. When speeded up with their slowness, all these things happen in all the panchapranas. Next, it percolates down to the physical body, the annamaya kosha. And that imbalance starts initially from the brain. And there the left and the right brain gets into an imbalance and brings imbalances at various levels in the brain in its functioning. Because of the higher speed, you get into neuroticism. Due to the wrong notion of the vipareya, you get into schizophrenia. Due to the avyakta phase of sleepiness, drowsiness, sleepiness and others, you get into things like depression and other things related to that as epilepsy and other. All psychiatric problems start coming up at the brain level initially. Then, if it doesn't happen, if the brain is very strong, well balanced with a good thing you have, it percolates down to the physical frame and causes various modern non-communicable diseases. The immune system is hit, and the immune system gets into the wrong notion and a weakened immune system. Stress is an immunosuppressant factor. So when there's too much of stress, it's going to suppress the immune system. The capacities of our WBCs and others will all get weakened. And because of that, we have the weakening of the immune system. A perversion of the immune system and the weakening of the immune system. What is the result of that? You get into various diseases of the modern time called non-communicable diseases. Asthma, diabetes, hypertension, heart problem, epilepsy, migraine, irritable bowel syndrome, and the wellness is almost destroyed. We move from wellness to illness. And this is the whole thing that happens right from the Anandamaya Kosha down to the Annamaya Kosha. And therefore, wellness, if you want to reset itself, we have to see that the balance comes at all these levels, not merely at the physical level. We are trying to remedy a particular imbalance, a particular symptom of a disease by modern medical system. No doubt. The effectiveness and contribution of the modern medical system need not be belittled. Fantastic things. It has become such a thing that all over the world it has spread its wings to the highest level. It has been able to eradicate almost all infectious diseases. And now, probably in a few more months or a year or two, we'll be able to deal even with the COVID, like we dealt with plague or cholera or influenza and other things earlier, the pandemics. The virus also can be taken care of. So all these physical things have been able to contribute very nicely by the modern medical system to eradicate them. But the new challenges, the NCDs, have no solution. Because they are more based in the Adhi, in the Manomaya Kosha, coming down as Vyadhi at the body level. Therefore, you need a total solution. And that is what we need today. Therefore, as Swami Vivekananda has said earlier, we have to combine the best of the East with the best of the West. Modern scientific research is the Western contribution. We have to combine that with our Eastern wisdom base of yoga, Ayurveda, and entire Ayush systems. The main difference between the two systems is that the modern medical system is based on the modern science, that is based on the understanding of the physical world. If you look at the origin of science in the western part of our globe, 400 years back, Newton and Descartes started the ball rolling. The objective of science is to search for reality. It was same between us in our ancient India and also in the modern times of the global world. And we went to unravel the mysteries of this physical world more and more. And in 400 years, we understood everything about the physical world. Every object that we have is made out of molecules, made of atoms made of protons, neutrons, electrons, fundamental particles. What are they made of? They're all made out of quarks, packets of energy. Therefore, everything that we see in the physical world is nothing but energy. We can precisely calculate how much of energy is in given matter, E equals mc square. For example, if I convert this small piece of pen into energy, probably it can burn up the whole of Bangalore city itself. Such an immense energy. Then we also understood the laws that govern them, Newton's laws of motion. That is applicable and known as the classical mechanics at normal speeds. And when you go to extremely high speeds, like an electron swirling around the nucleus, with speeds nearing the velocity of light, then this won't hold. You have to go to the higher laws, called as quantum mechanics, theory of relativity and others. Therefore, in that sense, we have understood everything about the physical world. Therefore, anything physical we have been a big success. So putting man on the moon, building skyscrapers, underwater tunnels.